It's week 2 of the NFL, and we'll get to see the Elks field stretching tight end. He just crossed the century mark last week with 103 yards. It's the Elks and the Bisons on Thursday night primetime.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we're on to week 2 of the NFL season. We got a good one on tap as it'll be the Bisons of Omaha taking on the Elks of Anchorage. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and partner, look at this Anchorage team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for this visiting Omaha club, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there leading them is their fourth-year quarterback. Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 18 carries, 67 yards. And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game. 2nd and 6. Gonna throw right side here, complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he is going to lose yardage here. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 34. Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play. And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see. I think you're exactly right about that. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Stevens. He's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Looking to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
They went for the deep shot early, and that's fine, but I don't think it was the right target to throw it to. You had 3 other guys sprinting downfield, and I thought 2 of them were open. Could have avoided an interception there by attacking a different player in coverage.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be let out by their 6-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And Howe will throw it. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Second down and 6 now. Johnson goes in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third and 1. Howell's going to throw it. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be fourth down. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, I guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get him the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. Their second drive here of the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off play action. It's Howell. Throwing left sideline complete. It's Sullivan. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you off sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
He'll get the carry, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of 1 yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Howell, he'll look to throw it. Forced out to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is good, and that will make it 6-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, for years, we thought Seattle was the Pacific Northwest. Not anymore. NFL football has arrived here in Anchorage, and folks in these parts are understandably beyond excited to see just what the future holds. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe 1 yard to the 37. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, there's no disputing. He's made some poor throws in this 1st half, but this was a good one. And you can bet this is an offense that isn't going to pull back. They believe in what he can do. So all you can do is look forward, and they pick up a 1st down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at 1 yard. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
6-0 our score after 1. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. On play action, they'll throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They're going to look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, possession switches hands. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. Now they go play action with Howell. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Fight. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing here, Howell. Touchdown! A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
The previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. So that drive, 4 plays. This taken in right around the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's the Anchorage offense back out now. Losers in the season opener on Sunday. They get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is, and we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they play much better in game 2, so I would agree with you totally on that.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll set up to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3rd drives the charm. They are on the board, albeit with just a field goal.
Yeah, 3 points from 3 drives. That's not going to win you a whole lot of football games. Hopefully the fact they were able to move the ball a little bit can wake up their offense.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now here's the Omaha offense getting set to go now. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Howell out of the shotgun.
Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
With a play fake, and now here's Howell to throw it.
He's going to wind up and air it out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Howell.
And that will be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively.
And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They'll try to left side. Bradford. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now this throw caught left side. And touchdown! A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Elks are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now here's the Omaha offense getting set to go now. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Faking the handoff, Howell.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches.
2nd down throw for Howell.
He finds his man complete. It's Santos. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
2nd and 11 now. Howell down to throw it.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. First down, Howell to throw. Again, it's Johnson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Howell. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. Only able to gain a couple there. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Howell trying to pick it up on 3rd. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown! 23 yards for the touchdown as his guys are able to extend their lead.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This offense back to work now late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
He finds his man, complete. It's Stevens. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Well, he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Now a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Porter. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds?
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Elks are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And able to get this out to the 25. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. Some great games still to come. And I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there, as that promises to be a tight one. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on what should be a very tough opponent. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and what equates to be a very tough opponent. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. For this offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Howell from the gun. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Santos. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2nd down and 3. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. 2nd and 9. This time they'll throw it with Howell. He finds his man complete. That's Barton. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. The slot man in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. About 3 yards there to the 27.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. Howell. he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now Howell. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's first and goal. Here's Howell. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's the fullback. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bisons take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, Bradford. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. Now during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Johnson to return it. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. The throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
3rd and 5. Howell, he'll look to throw it. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Batted by the safety, but
and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Stevens.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Elks are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
We're getting set up for what should be a great 4th quarter. This has been a hard-hitting game because both teams have punched and counter-punched equally well. And here's a good finish to this drive. A touchdown run here late in the 3rd quarter.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will shrink to 6. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Omaha's offense back out for another series. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
He finds his man, complete. It's Sullivan. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Throwing here, Howell.
And the catch made by Johnson. So the completion gets him just a yard. And now it's 3rd and 4. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
He finds his man complete. It's Canton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Ball start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And once more, Howe back to the air. He finds his man complete. It's Santos. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Howell out of the shotgun. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sullivan. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Another throw for Howell. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown! A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bisons are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's the Anchorage offense back out now. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds his man complete. That's Larson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. From the 33, here's 2nd down and 1. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
This is 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
They're going to look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
On first down, Bradford, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 3 yards to go on second down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. They'll set up a throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. On play action, they'll throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal, so now it's 2nd down. Now a handoff looking right. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Elks have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Omaha's offense back out for another series. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here. Otherwise, they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
Ball start.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, it's Howell. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Santos. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line.
Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
And on now is the punter as he's on to kick it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. They go play action here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On the return, Johnson. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now here's the Omaha offense getting set to go now. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to have a first down here, and that should be the one that seals a victory. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Omaha, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Anchorage, they'll drop to 0-2, and they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.